Hey guys, Paranoid here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. First thing we'll go over is the 2x Void that is coming up. Got the Void Rushes coming. Double your chances on all Void Shards from Saturday at 14:30 UTC to Tuesday at 8 a.m. UTC. Typically these run Friday to Monday. This time they're running at Saturday to Tuesday. As you know, the portal right now is showing the gold and has the enhanced visual because we do have the 10 times event going on. So before you go and you pull in any of your void shards, if you're not wanting in on the 10 times event, you want to make sure that it is switched over to the 2 times event for void. Second thing I kind of want to talk about and touch on is the tournaments that we have going on right now. More importantly, the rewards in the tournaments. So this Arena Onslaught tournament is the supposed new content that we were getting in this patch, the new tournament that they were bringing in. And I have to say I was pretty disappointed when I opened it up this morning to see what the rewards are on it. Over here on the right hand side, 25 gems for top points is pretty pathetic in my opinion. Yet again, we're still getting the Relentless gear as our 1 and 2, and in this one even the 3 slot, and Relentless gear just does not have the value that it had before. In my opinion, it was really only good because of Rhodos. Now with the nerf on it, it's not as good as what it was before. They had mentioned in the patch notes that they were going to start giving out accessories as rewards for tournaments. I have not seen that happen yet. Would have preferred to see the top reward over here be a random accessory, and then for number 1 maybe a 3-piece accessory set for a random faction, you know, 6-star legendary. That'd be something that would make it worthwhile to go in and actually grind out this arena tournament. As it stands right now, I'll log in, I'll do my normal arena so that I can build my Great Hall. But as far as the tournament's concerned, there's nothing in here that interests me to try for it at all. Even on the global leaderboard, 2 epic books is what you get for being globally number 1. Come on, that's pretty crappy. Then we'll kind of talk about the Dragon Tournament. You can see here I did get all my top rewards over here on the right. And then I stopped farming Dragon because, in my opinion, 3rd place is a better reward than 1st or 2nd, and that's just kind of sad that I wanted to stop and manage my account to be 3rd place because that reward is better than 1st or 2nd place. So we'll go ahead and claim those 2 ancients now. Received a free key for their issues that they had this morning with the servers yet again. The next thing that I did want to go over and I wanted to talk to you guys about is the new Unkillable comp that I'm doing. So you may have seen my last video, which was the Roshard Skull Crusher Unkillable that did not require a cleanser or a debuff blocker because you're running both Roshard and Skull Crusher to go 4 times to the clan bosses 3, and that allowed Skull Crusher to keep his ally protect and counterattack in sync. The issue with that one is it was a void only comp, which at the time was fine because you didn't have the unlimited damage, so you were kind of limited to how many people you could have hitting on Ultra Nightmare versus Nightmare. Now with the unlimited damage, it's become more of a free-for-all. Everybody in the clan, we have 30 people in our clan, all hitting Ultra Nightmare, and Void goes down quickly. Reset for me is 6 a.m. and to be honest, I did not want to set an alarm to wake up to hit Void at 6 a.m. every day. So I wanted to find a composition that would allow me to 2-key Ultra Nightmare on any affinity. This way I don't have to worry about what time I get up, I don't have to worry about anything, whether it's red, whether it's green, whether it's blue, or whether it's Void. I have a composition that I can get through and I can 2-key any affinity. It is an unkillable composition. It is the 2 times Maneater composition. So I'm going to kind of run you through that, run you through the champions that I have in it, the gear and stats that I have on them, and then we'll do a go ahead and do our Ultra Nightmare run for the day. So we will start off with, of course, the 2 Maneaters. And as you can see here, one of my Maneaters is only 5-star level 50, has 0 masteries on him whatsoever. The stats that I have him running at are 246 speed, 92% crit rate, 112% crit damage. The accuracy, I'm not really worried about his attack down. It just happens to be at the 141. I'm getting 80 just from the Great Hall though. My other Maneater is running at the 248 speed, 72% crit rate, 121 crit damage. Again, accuracy doesn't matter there. With these, the more crit rate, more crit damage you can build up on them, the more attack you can build up on them, the higher you're going to push your damage numbers. As it stood right now, I just put them together quickly and wanted to make sure that I hit the speeds that I needed to hit. It is pretty finicky on the speeds. From what I've seen and what I've been able to test, you have to be at that 248 and 246 on your 2 Maneaters. Your other 3 champions then can range from 205 to 212. 204 will throw off your rotation. 213 will throw off your rotation. You also have to make sure that none of your champions have the exact same speed, so you can't have 2 champs at 208. That'll throw off the rotation. I wanted to make sure that I hit my speeds without using Lure of Steel, because the rounding in Lure of Steel can actually mess up the way the system reads the speed, and the rotation can be thrown off. So there were a lot of things that I wanted to hit. So right now, before I even started any min-maxing on the 2 Maneaters, I just wanted to get them at the speeds that they needed to be at, and then I have 3 decent hitters that run with them. You do obviously have to have their Ancient Blood skill booked down to the 5-turn cooldown. The Masteries that I have running on this Maneater, I'm running him down the offense tree to War Master, and then I do have him in some of the defense. You will have a permanent block debuffs up, so you will not ever catch a stun, and you will not catch the debuff from the affinity. So even running on Spirit, you don't have to worry about the decreased speed debuff throwing your rotation turns off. The next champ that I have running in with him is Septimus. You can see Septimus, I have him running down to War Master. He's still in the defensive tree, based on when I had him in my other Unkillable comp, where somebody was catching a stun and you do have the opportunity to counterattack off of that. I don't really get the opportunity to counterattack off of that anymore. However, I do still have the chance to get a counterattack if the stun goes to him and he has more than 25% HP and it takes off more than 25% of his max HP. Then he will sometimes go ahead and counterattack on that stun round, even though there's not a counterattack buff up. Gear that I have on him right now, I have him at 92% crit rate, 231 crit damage, 3800 attack, 271 accuracy. I do want him landing those extends. The extends are a big source, a big part of increasing the damage on the run itself. Next in there, I have the Skull Crusher. He does not do a whole lot of damage, but he gives me that counter attack on both AoEs, so that my Septimus and my Draco are countering every time on those AoEs, which is giving more damage out on it. Masteries, again, going down to War Master. I do not have these 2 Masteries filled in on him from when I was running him in the other Unkillable, because if he shakes off that stun debuff, then it would have thrown off the rotation, and I just didn't really see a reason to go in and fill him in at this point. The stats that I have running on him are 71% crit rate, 195 crit damage. Of course, accuracy, you want to have it as low as possible. You do not want his heal reduction to land. That's a slot that a poison can't go into. And I have his defense at 3950 since his damage is based off of defense. And finally, as I just said, Draco is my last champion that I have in there. I did go ahead and move him over to support so that I could get the Master Hexer on with him. This way, if Septimus has a couple of bad runs and is not extending the debuffs very well, I have a chance with him to put up an extra turn on it, which then gives an extra turn for Septimus to extend that debuff. Other than that, running him down again to War Master, and he is at 3700 attack, 80% crit rate, 218 crit damage, 269 accuracy. So my next priority, my next goal in this comp is to get Draco and Septimus both to 100% crit rate to increase their crit damage a little bit. That's where the min-maxing is going to come in. As I said, right now I went through and was working to make sure that I had the composition working, the rotation working, and that it would be enough. Where I'm at currently, I had to do enough to 2-key Ultra Nightmare, so anything that I get is going to be bonus for me from this point. So now we will go ahead and we'll get the run set up and started. I have, the one thing that I will say is you do want to kind of watch out for on this is the setup. I have wasted probably 7 keys by setting it up incorrectly. The initial portion of it does seem a little bit counterintuitive, so you just want to make sure you're paying attention and get that setup correct. Once you have the setup done, you hit auto and let it go and do its thing. So you can see here we're Spirit Affinity on Ultra Nightmare. Go ahead and find our champs that we want to get in there. I do put Septimus in the lead for the increased attack percentage by 23% in all battles. Get our 2 Maneaters in, Skull Crusher, and I always put Draco in this last slot so that when he is getting the counterattack on when he counterattacks on the AoEs, it makes sure that he's actually the last person to attack, so that any debuffs that are going to be up on the clan boss, I make sure that they're up there, because his A1 passive, he does get 10% increased damage for each debuff on the enemy, stacking up to 100%, so 10 debuffs. So a full debuff bar, I'm basically getting twice the amount of damage out of Draco's A1 on that counterattack by making sure that he goes last. First thing you want to do when you start this up is make sure that you're over here and ready to turn auto off. So we have the auto turned off. We're going to start off with the first Maneater's Siphon, his A2. Second Maneater's going to do his A2. I go ahead and I put up the decreased defense and weaken with Draco. Go ahead and use Septimus' A2. And our Skull Crusher A2. Now he's going to take a turn. We'll run through to our counterattacks. Now you're going to go, the first Maneater that comes up, you're going to use his A3. A1 on the next Maneater. Get some poisons up there from Draco. A1 from Septimus. Skull Crusher A1. Then we go A1 on the next Maneater again. Now here we're going to go A1 on Maneater. A1 with the Draco. A1 with Septimus. We got an extend there. You can go ahead and use this Maneater's A2. Skull Crusher is going to use his A1. A3 on the second Maneater. And now your rotation is set up. You can go ahead and hit auto and it'll run from here. So I'll let you watch a couple of rounds, then I'll cut away and we'll come back here. We'll come back at the end. And as you can see, the debuff was blocked there, so none of my champs got the slow speed applied to them. When the stun comes around, we have the block debuff up, so it allows you to run through on any affinity and not have to worry about whether or not you're going to throw your rotation out. Pretty much of the standard clan boss champs, Valkyrie's one of the few that's not going to work in this composition, because she is going to gain turn meter increase whenever the clan boss buffs himself, which will then throw herself out of rotation and end your run pretty quick. The new champion Mossbeard does not work in this composition because, as you can see, we do stay very low health for pretty much the majority of the fight. And when Maneater goes to place his A3, the poison stacks that would be on him from Mossbeard would kill him before he could place the A3, so he won't work, unfortunately, in this one. Obviously it would be nice to be able to get that 30% damage increase from each champion, but it is what it is. He could probably work in the Roshard and Skull Crusher Unkillable comp, but then again, you're looking at that primarily being a void only composition. So, not sure if you guys have the same issues that I have, where you have a lot more people attacking Ultra Nightmare now. You get down under void a lot faster than it used to be, and if you're like me, you're lazy and don't want to set an alarm and wake up at 6 AM to hit the clan boss, then this may be the perfect composition for you if you have 2 Maneaters sitting in the vault. Have that double void coming up tomorrow. If you don't have the 2 Maneaters sitting in the vault, then good luck to you on the 2 times chance for epics and legendaries. Maybe you can get a Maneater or 2 tomorrow when you're pulling on those voids. So you've been able to kind of see the rotation. You see how it goes through. I am going to cut away now, and we'll pick it back up when we get to the end. Okay guys, we're back. As you can see, we are on round 44. We've already done 40.5 million. We have a decent stack of buffs on the debuff bar. Usually when I'm up to about this round, I like to see these at 5 or 6, so I know that if he misses all the rest of them, I'm going to have the debuffs up for the rest of the turn. But it's not bad there. We'll go ahead and hit auto, let this finish out, take a look at what the overall damage numbers are at the end from each champion. While this is finishing out, though, I did want to see, let me know in the comments below, what are your all's thoughts on the arena tournament, on the rewards that they're doing for that tournament, on the Mossbeard fusion. I just kind of want to hear what you guys think out there, what you're seeing with the game. And then also let me know if you have any other champions that you use in a build like this that you're getting good damage out of. Always open to looking for ways to increase the amount of damage that I do. Obviously I know I have some min-maxing to do on the champions that I have. That's going to give me an increase. But if there are some other champions that I might be overlooking that could come in here and put out a lot of damage and not throw any rotations off, I'm all ears for hearing about those. Give me a like and a subscribe. It would definitely help out a lot. Hope you find this content helpful and it helps you out. So we are getting ready to get the big wipe here on the next clan boss turn. We did keep the debuff bar full. There was 2 rounds in the middle of it where we did lose 5 of our 8 poison stacks, so that's why the damage we got a little bit of a gap in that damage there, but overall 46.1 million damage dealt. Spirit Affinity, got 9.7 out of Septimus. This is my Maneater, obviously, that is still 5-star with no Masteries, did 1.1. Maneater that has the War Master Mastery on him, it got me 3.9. 1.9 out of Skull Crusher. Like I said, he doesn't actually do a whole lot of damage. He is in more to increase the amount of damage that Septimus and Dracomorph do. And then Dracomorph coming in at 29,427. So that's all that I have for you in this video today. Like I said, let me know below what your thoughts are. Would love to get what the feedback out there, some other feedback out there, see if you feel the same way I do, or if I'm just off base and how I feel about all this stuff. So, you all have a great day, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks.